Welcome back, everybody. I am so excited. Today, I don't only have Lynn Large here, we also have a guest. Disha is here with us today. Welcome.
Hello.
Can you
Hi.
share a little bit about yourself and what brought you here today?
It's a real big question. It's a real big question. The first thing I said, I was a star and I don't know how I landed on this planet, but I'm here now to bring it back to here today. What brought me here today is you, Christine. I just love all the things you're doing and your go getter attitude. And we laughed about this yesterday. You have an idea, and then 10 minutes later, you're doing it. And there's that quote that you are who you surround yourself, like the five most people you're surrounded yourself with. And part of what I have is perfection paralysis.
Yeah.
And I see you break through that every time I talk to you. I got to get some of yo juice. And it's also time. I've been in my cocoon for years. This is going on the seventh year. I tapped out to really go dive deep and do all the inner work and the inner healing. And I'm finally coming up, and it's like, all right, how am I showing up? What is all of those healings and all of the grace and the miracles that were shown through me? They're not just for me, they're for everyone. And that's how I show gratitude for all of it, is how do I show up now and serve my medicine to the world? And I know part of it is showing up even when you're not ready. My ego likes to keep me small. My goddess name is She Gold. My core essence of my soul is this beautiful, bright, buoyant, loud, gorgeous goddess that uses her voice and her medicine unapologetically. So the work for me I get to titrate into is doing things like I've wanted to do a podcast for years, but I have never done it. So when you were like, I'm doing it, I was like, okay, She Gold was like, we doing that. So here I am to answer your question.
Wonderful. I love it. I love it. I love it. Perfection paralysis. Oh my goodness. I can so relate to that. That has stopped me more times than I care to remember. But how can we be perfect if we've never done anything before? So that's why I love this experiment with you, Lynn, that we're just on here creating and having fun and sharing from our hearts and just going for it, because we all have the same drive and purpose, is to help other people, right? Feel less alone, feel seen, feel loved, feel heard.
Being positive and creative. And this experiment has been just that kind of intentionality of being positive and creative and playing and experimenting and not being attached to the outcome of it all. And it's paying great dividends. I'm sharing the podcast that we've done. This is our third one. And the feedback that I'm getting is just amazing. You're better at this than you think you are.
Oh,
Like, this is your thing. You need to go all in on this. I mean, these bold statements. And one of them is from my ex-husband. He's the one that said, keep it up. You're better than you think you are. And when he said that, I was like, oh, I think it's time I listened to the second podcast that we did, because I hadn't listened to it back. I was lying on the bed and I got so tickled listening to myself that I just became giddy inside. I was low key shocked that it was me. It just felt so empowering that I pushed the pause button and I just got up and took my ass and danced around and just milked it. And this hunch that you're onto something. You are naturally good at this. Keep going. Keep going. So I'm honored to walk this path with you and to meet you, Disha, and
hello.
being positive and creative in the world.
I love that creativity. Just keep creating, right? And celebrating our win.
Yes, I love that. Just pausing it and dancing around and feeling the joy and being in your body. And I can do this. I did the same thing. I was listening to it driving to the beach. And I was smiling, like it almost hurt. That is really juicy. Oh my goodness. I love that. Yes, that's great advice. I hope somebody else hears it.
Right. Really good stuff. Really good stuff.
One thing that me and my friend were talking about yesterday is that how we, as women, just people that want to grow and heal and rise, that we get to do it together in community. And that this community has had names in the past of networking or a more patriarchal way of looking at it. And we're just transforming that. And one thing that came up was not having it be transactional, but having it be transformative. How does that land?
I love that. I love that because it almost takes the competition element out of it and just is a safe space without any expectation.
Mm.
It's just a place to show up and be. And in your joy, in your vulnerability, in your, I'm a little wonky today. It makes it feel really safe. And I think that's where we are in this evolution of the new earth with the divine feminine rising in the collective. It's like we need more and more of us to create through joy community spaces where we can just play and be all of the things, the spectrum of the goddess, of the mother, of the PBJ, of the I'm like in the galaxies, and we're gonna do all of it. We get to do all of it with play and laughter and laughing about ourselves without brushing our teeth sometimes at 10 o'clock in the morning.
I love that. It reminds me also of, as I'm reading The Unconventional Addict, in the foreword, Jamie's poem, The Imperfectly Perfect Temple, a Prayer of Sisterhood. She was describing this space. In this golden space, me just being me is enough. Sweet, spicy, rare, and bold, my royal throne is waiting. Cold, spiteful, tired, and old, I loudly dance through the gate. And it just talks about there's enough here. It's not perfect. May my temple hold me in my grace and peace. May my temple hold me in my rage and judgment. No matter the state of my heart when I enter, may my temple redirect me back to softness. When I make mistakes, I'm welcome here. Just the imperfectly perfect temple is what it reminds me of, this space, what you just said about instead of transactional, transformative, just really showing up. And my big thing is just telling the truth. It's just truth telling. It's just telling the truth.
Funny, my husband laugh and I joke because sometimes when we get into a skiff or something, I say to him, what's my nickname? And he's said this ad nauseum hundreds of thousands of times. It's I'm the truth sayer, right? Like I'm just the truth. It's just the truth. It is time now. I don't know about you, but I am so over surface level conversations. They just feel so incomplete and I don't even attract them anymore because with so much love, I need full conversations like this on a daily basis to fill my cup.
I love that. I'm watching this new TV show that my oldest daughter opened my eyes to. It's about ballet, a ballet company in New York and one in Paris. And there's a very strong female character in there who is kick-ass at setting boundaries. So she ruffles feathers wherever she goes. And in one scene, this older man is, now you listen to me, Missy. And she's, no. And then she takes a walks out.
I like her style.
Yeah. Just no is a complete sentence. I'm not going to sit here and listen to you monologue about something. I already know what you're going to say. I don't need to pretend that I'm nice or people please. Of course, maybe we can add maybe a no thank you or I got to leave. But just working on those, I matter, my time matters, what I want to say matters.
I love that, how empowered that is of just no, and how comfortable and confident do you have to be and grounded in your no do you have to be to do that? That shows me that character has done the work and understands herself and her needs and her wants. And it gives me so much hope that this is on the air and that our girls are able to see positive reflections of what it is like to be holding a boundary with so much gentle grace, but firm, I know what I need and I am my best authority.
Yes. I love that.
Amen to that.
I would love to hear a little bit more about your unconventional life and what you've been up to.
Give me a time frame on what part of my life,
The
because
last 10 years.
okay. So yes, because I was like, oh girl, we got the whole life is unconventional. So for the last 10 years, we'll take it back 18. How about that? After I finished college and all of that, more than 18 years now, but I lived in LA and I worked in Hollywood and worked my way up. And I had finally got the courage to create my short film that was making its festival circuit at Oscar qualifying festivals. It played at the Cannes Film Festival. And I finally had a job with a 4-time Oscar winning editor, and all of the check boxes were there. And I was in the process of adapting my short film into a feature. I remember this story about right before I ended up leaving. A lot of things culminated, but what happened was we have these morning meetings where our boss would divvy up the work. I had wanted to work with him for years because on paper, 4-time Oscar winner, like that was huge. We were all standing outside of my office. I was the only woman and the only person of color in the office. And I had been working there for 5 months at this point. And we would have these meetings every morning. And he looked around and gave everyone what they were going to do. And then he came to me and he couldn't remember my name. And literally, my name was over my shoulder because we were right outside my office. It was on the door. And I like just pointed to my name and I was like, it's Disha, dude. Like, what the fudge cake? And so it was that in combination to my spiritual awakening, my soul just couldn't do it anymore, even though I was, quote unquote, the place where I had spent 18 years getting, and I had to walk away from it all. I knew that my heart needed space and time. And because I had a Kundalini awakening, which was scary AF. And it's like I woke up with an extra sense just one day out of the blue. Imagine waking up blind and just having to relearn how to live life with one of your senses taken away. It was like that for me, but the opposite. I had the sense of feeling and I felt everything so bad. I remember I was in Target and there was an anorexic woman who went by me, and instantly, because I had no boundaries, talking about boundaries, energetic boundaries, I tapped into her energetic field, saw her entire lifetime trauma, was on the floor flapping like a fish because all of her trauma was running and cycling through my body. And I couldn't be around people anymore. So I actually self-isolated before COVID even started because I didn't know how to energetically hold these boundaries. My energetic field was so wide open. I spent years getting trained in so many different things and learning and going in and healing and doing all of these things to figure out what was happening. And now I know it was my soul's way of saying, hey, it's time. You planned this before you came down here, but all the things that you were drinking and eating away, we're going to deal with them now. So now I feel like the sun has risen on the beautiful beach shores of where we live, and I'm ready to start again. And when I left Hollywood, I said, I'm done with that. I don't need to go back. I felt very complete after a certain mourning period because it was a great part of my life. But I realized about a year ago And when I kept getting the intuitive call, I was like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I kept shutting it down. But it was like, you got to go back. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that again, because just the energy there is just, it's denser. It's not like the safe space that we had here on this podcast. And so I got the intuition that what I know and the skills I have are useful. And essentially what I'm doing now is I'm making a TV show called I Am Her Story. And it's pretty much what we've talked about. It's community, it's healing through sisterhood, non competition. It's doing all of these things in alignment with our hearts. And She Gold is guiding everything because, like I said, she knows what's up. So I'm like, all right, you guide me, I'm going to do it. And it's challenging at times because everything she's guiding me on is completely flipping the switch on how it's been done, how I've done it, the way you crowdsource, the platforms you show it on, how you shoot. Before we just shot the first episode, and how we started that is completely different. Even because before we even started, we created a little temple space for the show. And we aligned and attuned with that energy of the show and energetically have connected to the show. And before we even start shooting, everyone involved in the shooting, we sit in a circle and we connect. We do connect to source and center into each other's hearts and wisdom. And we do that because what we're doing is it's an energetic transmission through the visual lens of a TV show. But what it is, it's just sacred sisterhood in a sacred safe space. So how can we create that if we're just pressing play on the camera without actually aligning our intentions first?
Wow.
So that's where I am currently, where we'll see how it goes and what comes, because she's got lots of things on the book. So I'm like, let's do this one and see what happens. But Kristine, I love one of the lines that I've heard you say, and I just use it now. So thank you for gifting me that line. I could do hard things. I can do hard things. And then they're not hard when you just say it in that soft, jovial way. I recognize this feels challenging, but I'm going to do it anyways. And then it always softens up too, right? It's almost the resistance to it that makes it feel so hard. And then once you do it, you're like, oh, was that it? You're your own hurdle anyways.
Love that. You're your own hurdle. And I got that from Glennon Doyle. So we're just passing on the joy. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
I would like to celebrate you shooting your first episode. Or
thank
you call it an
you.
episode?
It's an episode. We're not completely done yet, but we've shot a couple days of it. So yeah, thank you.
Amazing. Celebrating, literally.
Yeah,
yes.
celebrating. And
Awesome.
I celebrated yesterday. I went to the ecstatic dance at the beach yesterday, and I was just dancing in the sunset. It was just beautiful. I'm so grateful that this is my life and I deserve it and I earn it and I put in the work. And the last 18 years and walking away from that wasn't for nothing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. Every experience we have brings us to this moment.
And just gratitude as my attitude, like to the point where people who are grumpy just want to punch me in the face. And it's just, I can't help it. I'm just so happy. And not toxic, like love and light. I'm not saying that. Kristine, you've seen me in some of my darker times. No, I'm here now because I have addressed that wound or that fear or that toxic cycle, and I've broken it and I've done that work, and we get to celebrate, and life gets to be the celebration. Living life gets to be the celebration.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. Yes. Luck is there, but I think we all have that. The universe keeps sending us these creative little buses, and we have to be courageous enough to get on. But those buses show up to everybody. Just have to be aware. Do we want to get on the podcast bus? Do I want to get on? I'm going to ride a book bus. Or am I just going to stay here and feel safe in the things that I know? But then another bus is going to come. Maybe that's, I don't know. Am I going to go to an open mic night? Yes or no?
Oh, and
You never know.
and that's the thing. It's just when you get to that place of, I'm just going to say yes. It's funny you say open night because she gold was like, there's an open night that you got to go. I was like, wait, I have nothing to say. She's like, I got you. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm scared. I don't know what you're going to say because I used to do that thing with that kind of stuff with drinking. I would be okay with it. I gave that up years ago. And so now I have to rely on what is me to authentically show up. And I look forward to the day where I don't meet it with, oh no, I'm a little bit scared, but I meet it with, yes, let's go do it. I cannot wait to see what gems you spit out today. You know what I mean?
I had this vision this morning because I often say that I have the Eeyore and the Tigger energy. And yesterday I was definitely in Tigger creating all these different things. So then Eeyore wakes up this morning and anxiety galore in my head. This is a very Swedish reference, but in Stockholm, we have this ship that sank on her maiden voyage called Vasa. And she was under the surface for a long time. We're talking like hundreds of years, right? The sand underneath the surface, all this muck and dirt covered her up so she couldn't breathe. But then she also started feeling safe in that. They found her in the 70s and they started trying to lift her up, and they were doing all these different things, and all these people came together and they're putting ropes under her. And I could just see this as my own body just being lifted up to the surface, and then just, oh no, but I'm comfortable here. Let go of the rope there. What are you pushing me so much? I've been down here for a long time and it feels safe. And also I can't breathe, but I don't know what's up there. And then just sitting in that emotion of what is new, what's above the surface. I don't know what's up there, but I'm trusting the people that are lifting me up, the people that keep showing up and keep wanting to co-create with me, and that it is safe. That's one of my newest mantras is you're safe, you're safe. And you're not alone.
Those are the two biggest. If you really know those two things in the deep subconscious of your mind, I believe you could do anything.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind. What advice would you give to somebody who feels stuck and feels like maybe they climbed the wrong ladder?
Do something different, completely different. Make a left turn. You got to break that cycle. Sorry, I'm not going to got or should on anybody here. I don't like shoulding, and that's my bad. But the first step is always awareness. You don't even know that you're looping. So if you could recognize, oh, this pattern is the pattern that keeps me stuck, then that's step one. Celebrate. Congratulate yourself. Do a little dance. Good for you. Yes. Step one. Start there. Then move on to step two. You don't have to remember, it's not perfection. It's just where you are, right? And so then the next step would be make a left turn. What do you usually do? I usually come home and I take a nap because I'm tired. Okay, I'm going to, without dishonoring myself, I'm going to say, I'm going to do the dishes for 5 minutes before I go take a nap. And that's my personal journey, ladies. That's my personal left turn. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like whatever it is, it's the awareness and breaking the cycle.
And also honoring that the cycle has kept us safe for a long time. And that we don't need to shame ourselves for the walls that we have built up or the patterns, and just be like, this has served me for a long time. Thank you.
It served you. Exactly. It's always gratitude. It's always gratitude, even for those quote unquote, quote, wrong or bad things. Because when you look at it, none of it is bad or wrong. All of it is just information and learning. And if you meet it with gratitude, you could take the golden lesson and the wisdom and move it forward.
Yes. Lynn, what are your thoughts on this?
I love it. Yeah. This method I'm using is relax, listen, and write it down.
Hey.
So the relaxation piece for me is I use my own techniques, how to center, how to unhook, disengage, relax, calm myself, my nervous system. There's a million ways you can do that. When I relax and I listen, my inner wisdom is going to talk to me. It is there for me at all times. Love to share with me. That's why I have to relax first so that I can listen. And the writing it down for me is an action of respecting myself and just being with myself and not forgetting. It's like I'll forget stuff if I don't write it.
Mm.
And so just writing it down. I'm even taking notes today as we're here because I'm respecting myself and you ladies and honoring, and I want to remember things, and I'm relating, and I'm seeing how Disha called it a Kundalini experience. My phrase is I crashed it. It's like
Mm.
the relatability and all the universal truths and messages. But just to keep it simple, relax, listen, write it down. And 100%, I'm here today on this call with both of you because I did that. I was in California. I was relaxed. I was listening. I had a little hunch that said, call Kristine. Maybe she'll tell you how to write a book, Lynn. You're really struggling with how to get your book out there. Maybe you could just call her. And I was like, all right, here we are. But just all these rich experiences that Kristine and I have had because I relaxed and I listened, I wrote it down, and I took action.
Yes. Oh, I love that. And what I'm hearing too is that your intuition wants to talk to you and wants to help you. So you literally are never alone. You have to stop long enough to receive the message.
Relax. A lot of work to relax.
It's scary too.
Takes a lot to relax for me.
Practice. That's one of the reasons that I fell in love with meditation was that it's called a meditation practice. I'm like, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to practice, play, learn. I love learning new things. I'm so glad you called, Lynn. I'm so glad, Disha, that you said yes to this. I love it, jumping right in. We're not even sure what we're creating, but we're coming together and creating magic in
I love it.
different shapes and forms. I want to ask you, how can people find you, Disha?
Oh, that's an interesting question. That's an interesting question because over my 7-year sabbatical, I unplugged for the majority of the time. I think right now I have just Disha Photography on Instagram
Okay.
because part of this is where my yes and my action gets to be of how, in what way do I want to be seen now? And I'm playing with that. Who am I? Who am I that I want to put out there? Because all of that other old stuff, it represents where I was, not who I am. And so it didn't feel like in alignment with where I am.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Just Disha Photography?
At Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, Instagram. Yeah, wonderful. Do you
Thank you.
Do you have any last burning desires that you would like to share?
I don't have a burning desire, but I'm going to leave y'all with something She Gold says to me all the time. And I say She Gold like she's a different part, but she's that part of me that knows without a doubt what's up. And she says this to me all the time. I didn't come here to play, but I came here to play. So just I'll leave you all with that because we take ourselves too seriously, but we also know we came here to do some things. So we're going to do some things and we're going to have some fun.
Yes,
Love
yes.
that.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today. I am
Yeah.
grateful both to you, Lynn, and you, Disha, for being here. And I can't wait to share this wisdom.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Disha. I look forward to knowing you around town and connecting more.
Yeah. Yes. And to the audience, go have some fun and play and don't play, but do all the things and say yes.
Say yes. I love that. Thank you.
Ciao.